Hey everyone, I want to talk about two of the most bizarre things that Jesus ever said. First, that we must become like a little child to enter the kingdom of heaven. And secondly, we got to lose our life if we're going to find it. Well, I'm Danny. Let me use a whiteboard marker to give you an analogy. I want to write something for you. There you go. It's the Marco Zorro right there. You see it? Well, of course you don't, because there's no whiteboard. But with a whiteboard, we can write anything we want to on it. So a whiteboard is to a marker what a human brain and body is to thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. Because just as a marker is totally worthless if there's nothing to write on, thoughts, beliefs, and emotions can only exist in this world if they have a human host, human body and brain, as a host to live in. They don't grow on trees, they don't live in books, or even in artificial intelligence. The only place in this earth where thoughts, beliefs, and emotions can live is in the brain and body of a human being, right? So say we see an event in the outer world that our beliefs have convinced us, ooh, that is bad, those people are evil. Well, this triggers thoughts in our inner world, which generate emotions, which create more thoughts, which intensify the emotions, and it can take over our rational thinking, and it always turns out bad, especially if it's a collective identity, as in nations, religions, or ethnic groups. Now, we know from history and current events that the beliefs that we have adopted from the culture or the society we grew up in create our truth, our reality, and our identity. So look at the Protestants and Catholics, or Jews and Muslims, blacks and whites, or Russians and Ukrainians. They fear, hate, and end up killing each other. But you put a little Catholic and Protestant and Jew and Muslim, black and white, and Ukrainian and Russian children together, they'll play together and have fun because they haven't adopted the beliefs of the collective yet. That tells us that, oh, those people worship the wrong gods and their skin's the wrong color, and those people are bad because they were born on the other side of the border. But it was only by the lottery of conception that we were born into whatever body and whatever nation, religion, ethnic group, and we adopted the passed down beliefs of the collective. And yet there's no difference in us physiologically, emotionally, mentally. It's only the adopted beliefs that cause the difference. Now, somehow I was born into a white American male body. So my view of the world was shaped by my upbringing. And yet today I realize very clearly that the consciousness that is in this body, pretending to be Danny, white American male, could have just as easily been born in any other race, religion, or nation. And you could too. And if so, we would be experiencing our life very differently than we are today. So what did Jesus mean when he said we can't enter the kingdom of heaven unless we become like a little child again? Well, if we understand that what we call my life is really a mental construct that's built from our experiences and our adopted beliefs and characteristics from whatever culture or nation we happen to be born into and whatever body we happen to be born into, well, then we can see that who we think we are is kind of a false self that's taken over by the ego. But by examining our beliefs in an unbiased way, we can let go of identifying with our adopted beliefs as who we are, and we can find the true essence of our being, which is the consciousness we had as a little child, but we've forgotten. And I see this as the same exact thing Jesus was teaching when he said, if anyone wants to be my disciple, they must first take up their cross, deny themselves, and lose their life in order to find it. Now, to take up our cross, that means dying. So is Jesus advocating suicide? No, he's not advocating suicide, and he's not advocating mental belief in doctrines, dogmas, and rituals to be his disciple. So being a disciple of Christ means we let the false self die, which gives us the realization that the only thing that divides humanity is in our own minds. And it brings forth compassion because we realize that could be us, which is why Jesus said, whatever you do to the least of these, we did to him. And here's another bizarre saying of Christ that people use to slander and misrepresent him. I think you'll like it.